everyone, I'm Meredith and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am so excited that you found me, and if you're returning, I'm so grateful that you've decided to come back and watch more. I love all things luxury. I love luxury shoes, luxury handbags, luxury lifestyle and vlogging, and if they're things that appeal to you, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button down below and join us. Today's video is going to be a bit of a story time because I promised several of you that I will do a video on my Birkin special order and the process and how I got to the point of having a special order. So I'm going to do that today for you. I would like to start the video with a disclaimer. My experience is not going to be the same as everybody else's. I live in Sydney, Australia. The Sydney store here is incredibly competitive. I am so lucky to have gotten this and I am so grateful to my sales associate for putting me up for it, and I love my bag. But I am not going to go into things like spend. I don't believe it's relevant. I believe that depending on where you live in the world really depends on what your experience with Hermes is going to be like. So there is no point in me spending a lot of time telling you about how many times I went into store or how much I spent. And quite frankly, that's not something I'm comfortable disclosing anyway. I don't believe that I need to tell you that to do this video. So I'm more than happy to have a chat about my experience to Hermes to that point and since then, and the actual experience having the special order done itself. So this is my Birkin special order, which looks like just your standard everyday Birkin. And I will give you a tour of my bag to start with, so those of you who really don't want to hear me prattle on about the experience can have seen the bag and have wandered off, so that's fine. So this is a black Birkin 35 in Togo leather, and that's the specs that I wanted. Obviously it's a special order, and this has rose gold hardware. So I think they might call it pink gold. It really is gold with just the slightest hint of pink in it. So I'm not fussed on super yellow gold, but I do quite like the pink gold. And all the hardware is pink gold, including the lock. So let's open it up and I'll show you guys. So when I said I wanted this, my sales associate and I went back and forth on the exact specs. And I was very specific about one particular thing, because up until this point, you guys are going, it's a black Birkin 35. Seriously, why is this a special order? Let me show you why it's a special order. So this is why it's a special order. So this has, and I'll take the insert out. Oh, so I do have an insert in it. So this interior is in Rose, Mexico. So it is pink. It is in your face pink. You can't miss it pink, which is how I like it. So my sales associate asked me about the interior and I said I wanted a pink and I only had a couple to choose from and I wanted this because this is in your face pink. And then, yeah, on the outside, it just looks like a black Birkin 35, but when you open it up, it's not. And they do that all the way down to the clochette. So it's just black on the outside, but when you look at the inside of it, and hopefully that comes up, that's even pink in there. So they really do all the details on this. And then it's even got rose gold feet on the bottom of it. So yes, so my story with Hermes is not a long one, so don't panic. This is not going to be a hugely long video. So I had been into Hermes over the years, and I hadn't ever really had a great experience. I hadn't had a good feeling from Hermes in Sydney before my current sales associate, and I had watched a review on a bag that is readily available. I don't have it up behind me, with a YouTuber, and it wasn't an expensive bag and I knew I could just walk in and get it. And I said to my partner, this day we were just in the city, I just want to duck into Hermes. There's this bag I want. Like, it's going to be a bad experience. They're always rude. They're never really all that interested. I'm not going to spend a lot of money. They're just not going to care. So let's just go in, get it done, and get out and go somewhere else. And he was really perplexed by that, because our experience of luxury shopping, or his experience of luxury shopping had always been positive, because he had never done luxury shopping until he met me. And we had always been treated really well, and he really enjoyed the experience. So he was really perplexed that I was gearing him up to have a bad experience in Hermes. And he had always said to me, what is your dream bag? Because I have so many handbags. He had always said to me, what is your dream bag? I said, my dream is to own a Birkin. I said, but I am never going to own a Birkin. I can't justify the ridiculous resale costs of a Birkin, and I'm just never going to get offered one in store. I can't, I'm not that client. They don't care. And he was really perplexed by that too. So we went into store, we met this sales associate, and he was the most lovely man, and we just clicked. And my partner, being my partner, straight up said to this poor man, so what are our chances of getting a Birkin? And I just looked at him like, you're insane. Like, but I wasn't perplexed. I wasn't concerned, because I didn't think I was ever going back into the store. So I didn't care. And my this man is still my sales associate. My sales associate said, we put together a wish list. Nobody is exempt from being offered a bag. Like, why don't we make you a wish list? Why don't we put it down in writing and see what happens? Now, we all know what that means, and that's fine. But he showed us around the store, and he showed us other things, and I realized that Hermes does more than what I thought they did, and they have some beautiful items in other departments other than their leather goods area. And we bought a few things that day, and I made my wish, and I said what I wanted. And yeah, I was very upfront that I wanted a Birkin 35 in black. That was my ultimate bag that I wanted, and that comes from being a child of the 90s and watching Victoria Beckham tote around her black Birkin for years, and it was always massive. And in fairness, now that I think about it, now that I'm older, hers was probably a Birkin 25, and she's so tiny it just looked massive, but in my head I equated that to a Birkin 35. And I said that to my sales associate. I said, I really want a black Birkin 35. And he said, it can be hard to get, because it's something that everybody really does want, a black one. And then I knew that Framboise, this color over here, was coming out. And the next time we went into store, I said to him, can I add to my wish list? He said, of course you can. Your wish list can be as many pages as you want it to be. You give me everything that's on your wish list. Let's just get it all down on paper. He's just the loveliest man. So I said, I understand there's this color Framboise coming. He's like, yes, that means raspberry in French. I'm like, great, look at me learning French. I said, that color is the color of my soul. Like this pink, like I'm a pink person. Like, this is the color of my soul. I said, I would like it in a Birkin 30 in Togo leather. I had done so much research on YouTube by that point. Between my first and my second visit, I understood leathers. I had done all this research. I said, I want Togo leather. I really like the graining that's in it. So Togo is a heavily grained leather, but it's also really wearable and hard wearing, which was important to me. So I wanted one in Togo leather, and I said I wanted it with palladium hardware, and that was a definite. So we were there, we were buying other things. We had that appointment, toddled off into the distance. COVID was a thing still at that point. So this was 2021, so we're in 2022 now. So this was my very first appointment was Easter 2021 in that store. And I had my second appointment where I talked about the Framboise Birkin, and then I got a phone call from him, I think about June, and he said, I cannot wait for you to come back in. I'm so excited. I just need to tell you, I have your Birkin for you. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I was crying on the phone. My partner thought I was insane. I'm crying on the phone. And he said, it's a Birkin 30 in the color Framboise with palladium hardware. And I was floored. I said to him, it's like I spoke it into existence, because they were the exact specs I had given him that I wanted. So I had spoken it into existence. And he said, so it's here for you whenever you can get in. And that was my first Birkin. Now, that happened in June 2021, and like a week later, we went into a hard lockdown here in Sydney. We could not go anywhere, stores closed, we were in hard lockdown, and I knew my Birkin was sitting at the Sydney store waiting for me to pick it up, and I was devastated. So my sales associate, we did appointments via FaceTime and emails. We talked, I ordered things, they were delivered, and in the end we were in a hard lockdown, I think for about 3 months, and he said, listen, I've got permission to just release it to you, so I'm going to send it out with your next order. Pay for it, I'll send it out. So I didn't get that in-store pickup because of the situation, but it was exciting nonetheless. I was just so grateful to have a Birkin, and I knew how hard it is to get any kind of offers in Sydney. It is incredibly competitive. We have one store in all of Sydney, and Sydney has the most I won't say money, but like it has, so there's 6 million people in New South Wales. It's the biggest state in Australia, and Sydney, being the capital, has the densest population, and they are generally, we have a lot of people who have money, basically. Let's just put it like that. There's a lot of people in Sydney who have money. So I knew I was running against a crowd of very well-funded people to get these offers, and I was just stoked. And I understand that getting your first offer is always easier than subsequent offers. So I got that, and I said to my partner at the time, I said, that's it. Like, I'll be lucky if I ever get another offer ever again. I'm just so grateful I've got a Birkin. That was always my dream, to own a Birkin. I own a Birkin. My life, I'm happy. I'm a happy collector. So we finally made it out of lockdown. Yay us. And I went back into store. We had another appointment. And after that appointment, I got a phone call from my sales associate, and he said, listen, he said, special orders open up in September and February. It's now September. I'd really like to put you up for a special order. Are you interested? Well, they call them a la carte bags. I want to put you up for an a la carte bag. Are you interested? And I went, are you insane? Of course I'm interested. Yes, yes, yes. Give me a special order. Oh my goodness, I'm dying. And he said, okay, I'm going to put you up, and you'll be able to do a special order. And we were still, COVID still wasn't great. I was still trying to run my company. And he said, let's try and get this organized remotely, because you're pretty sure on what you want, rather than come into store, because we're still on limited appointments. There's masks. There was lots of things still going on around COVID. So he's like, do you know what you want to do? And I asked him if exotics were an option. He said, no, this is not an exotics a la carte bag. It has to be a standard bag. And I knew instantly. What I wanted to do. There are other things that were on my wish list, but this bag was what originally got me to a Birkin. This was the Birkin. This was the one that I watched through my, late teens, early 20s. This was the bag that I wanted. So I said to him instantly, I want a black Birkin 35. And he's like, all right, well, let's try and do something special with it, because it is an a la carte bag. We don't just want to get a black Birkin 35. We could wait and wait and wait, and eventually you will get one of those. Let's do something special with it. Let's make it Meredith's Birkin 35. And I was like, great. I had, by that point, done a lot of research on YouTube about special orders also. So I knew that I could have different colored thread. I knew I could have different types of hardware. I knew what interiors I could do. So I said to him, I definitely want rose gold hardware. I was sure on that. I had done the research, and he's like, great, perfect. And I said, and I definitely want a black Birkin 35. He's like, cool, no worries. And then I said to him, I want a hard wearing leather. I said, I've got my friend boy's one in Togo. What else do you suggest? And he came back to me with 2 options, but he said, listen, Togo is the best. If you want hard wearing grained leather, because that was my thing, I want it to actually look like leather. I didn't want it to be smooth. He said, then you want Togo leather. I went, cool, no worries. So let's do Togo leather. And then I said to him, I want a pink interior. I love nothing more than a detail, and a detail that you don't know exists until you see it. So I love men's suits. When men wear suits and they go to take them off and they open up and you see the lining, I love a really out there lining. My partner's had a few suits specially made because he's quite a tall man. So whenever we have them, those bespoke suits made for him, we choose really out there lining because I love that. I think that's a brilliant detail. You don't know it's there and suddenly they go to take their jacket off and you go, wow, look at that lining. I love linings in bags. I have bought bags for the lining. So it's just been a normal everyday bag and then you open it up and wow, there's this pop of color. I love that. So I said to him, I want a pink lining. I had chosen a pink, I think it was like bubblegum. And I said, I want this. He's like, no, I can't do that. I don't have that in the color swatches. So he sent me swatches. I'll insert pictures where I've got pictures up here. I don't have many. I think there's only 2 that he and I went back and forth on because I was so certain in this process on what I wanted. I didn't sit for hours on this. I knew what I wanted going in and we just built it around that. So he sent me pictures of the pinks and he's like, I've got this really baby pink or I've got this really bright pink Rose Mexico. And I went, send me a picture, which he sent me the picture and he sent it to me next to the black Togo leather. He said, this is Rose Mexico. I said, that is the pink I want. I want to open my bag and people go, oh, wow, look at that. Because up until that point it was special because it was a Birkin, but then I opened it and someone went, wow, that's cool. So then we talked about the stitching. So I knew I wanted it in a retourne, which is what this is. It's not a cellier. So it's a bit more relaxed. And he said, we can do the stitching in the same Rose Mexico color. So on the outside, I would have had all this stitching along the top would have been in that really vibrant pink. So you would have seen the pink against the black. And I said, no. I said I didn't want that. I wanted it to be a detail that only I knew about until I revealed it. I didn't want the world to know that there was going to be pink on the inside. And he said to me, awesome. He said, we call that in Hermes a selfish detail. And I went, that's a great term. Yeah, that's a brilliant term. It's a selfish detail because it's your detail until you choose to share it with someone else. So, from there, I signed off on all the swatches. It was really quite a simple process for me. I was very sure on what I wanted. I had done so much research on YouTube and it was a quick process for me. So while it looks like I just got a Birkin 35 in black and really that's not very exciting, for me, this is my bag. This is the ultimate bag. When my partner asked me what bag I desperately wanted to own, it was this one. And the fact that I got to do it as a special order and have this amazing pink interior is everything to me. I love this bag so much. So when you do a special order, if it's not COVID and it's normal, you go into store, they've got all these different swatches and you sit there and you put it together. I suggest if you ever get offered the option of doing a special order, do your research. Watch a zillion YouTubes on the process. Some people have been lucky enough to take film of the box that they have with all the different swatches. Even if you're just listening to people like me talk about it, it can be helpful, but go in with an idea. Know what you want to get. Do you want a Birkin or do you want a Kelly? Or do you want a Constance? What size do you want? Do your research so you know that when you create this bag, you are going to love it. You can do a two-tone bag where like this is one color and the sides are a different color. I didn't want that. I have seen them done and people have loved what they've created. If that's what makes you happy and brings you joy, then go nuts. Do that. You used to be able to do 3 colors. You can't anymore. It's now only 2. And you can do like the sides and the sangles can be a different color. Lots and lots of people choose that because it then screams to the world that it is a special order. So if you want to do that, go nuts. I think if you're given a chance to do this process, you may never be given it again. Create something you will use and you will love. So go nuts with that. But be real sure on what you want, because I had tossed up whether I was going to do this or a Kelly, but Birkins speak more to me than Kellys. I do want a Kelly now. I actually want 2 Kellys now. They're on my wish list because I don't own any Kellys. But now that I have 2 Birkins, I can tell you I want a Birkin 25 in ostrich, but beyond that, I don't want a whole heap of other Birkins. I do want some Kellys though. But if I'm never given an opportunity to do another special order, I'm okay with that. I love my Birkin special order. I was so incredibly lucky to get offered the opportunity to do it, and I'm so incredibly grateful to have it. I would never in a million years sell this bag. This bag will forever be in my collection, and so help my children when they sell it down the track, I will be rolling over it in my grave. So I ordered this in September. You pay for it when you pick it up. So you do the whole process, you order it, and you don't have to pay for it until it's ready. Your pricing at that point that you order it is set. So if the price increases happens between when you order your special order and when it arrives, you don't pay the price increase. You pay the price that this is worth on the day that you order it. So for those that are interested, this Birkin 35 in black in Togo leather was just over $18,000. So that was retail in Australian dollars here in Sydney. So these retail, in the resale market, these can retail like into the 30s sometimes. So if you get offered bags in store, they are so much better priced than they are in the resale market. But I appreciate that creating a relationship with the store can be costly in itself. So if you're only doing it because you want one single bag, then by all means look at the resale market. But if you've got the time, the money and the energy to put into having a relationship with the store, then these are definitely cheaper to get that way when you're lucky enough to get them. So yeah, it was ordered in September, and they pushed because they knew my birthday was in February, and they pushed to have it done for February. So you're given a time frame of about 12 months. It could take up to 12 months to get here. I have heard of some special orders taking even longer than that, but I was told about 12 months, and they did it for me by February because they knew it was my birthday, and my sales associate desperately wanted me to unbox it on my birthday, which I did, and that was really exciting for me. And I got to do that in store, which was also exciting for me because I hadn't had the chance to do that with the other one. So that's my Birkin special order story. I love my Birkin. I honestly love both my Birkins very much. They are very much me. This one is a classic. It will be with me forever. This one suits me down to the ground because of its color. If you are lucky enough to do this, please, please, please do your research. If anyone wants to see a little horseshoe, there's my little horseshoe. And the horseshoe stamp on it tells you that it is a special order. In a perfect world, I would own 1,000,000 Birkins and 1,000,000 Kellys. I really would. They are beautiful bags. They are so well made, but we all know how hard it is to get these bags. And honestly, I'm just grateful to have what I've got. Do I think I'll ever get a chance to do another special order? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's in the cards. I think it would be really hard, especially in Sydney, to get a second special order. I believe strongly that it isn't just about spend, it's also about the relationship you have with your sales associate and your store. I have a lovely, lovely sales associate who I adore, and he's a fabulous, fabulous person. And we get on really well, and I think that helps me at that store. But ultimately, he's got to put me up to his store manager, and they'll look at my record and go, well, she's already done an a la carte bag, so no, that's not happening. And I understand that. So I walk this path knowing that I may never get another a la carte bag, and I am completely fine with that. That's cool. If I got offered another one, I'd be doing backflips, but I don't think that's going to happen. At the very least, I would like to have at least one Kelly in my collection. I am hopeful that I will be offered that maybe this year, possibly next year, who knows. But I'm really open to the process. I'm not going into this with blinders or really focused on that outcome. I don't buy things I don't want. I go in and I shop and I buy things that I love. And if that results in me being offered a bag, then yay me. If not, I'm not expecting it. It's fine. I do have an extensive wish list. It is always there. I'm forever talking to him about, hey, what about this? What about that? I hear this is coming out. So he knows what's in my head at all times. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I hope this video has been really helpful for you if you're interested in the special order process, or the HSS special order process, or the a la carte process, whatever you want to call it. Hermes themselves call it an a la carte bag. Here in YouTube, we tend to refer to it as a special order or a HSS, horseshoe stamp process. But if that's something that you've been offered and you're doing research, I hope that this has been helpful. Please ask me questions in the comments down below. I'm also over on Instagram, and I will throw my handle up for you. Come find me over on Instagram, follow me. I like to put up pictures of my collection, and it happens in real time over there, and I'm super interactive. But if you want to ask me questions, if you find me over on Instagram, you can also DM me over there. I will always respond to questions from people. Comment down below if you've got questions. Please ask these questions. I'm more than happy to help. It can be a really overwhelming process when you very first do it, especially if you don't have a clear understanding of what you want. So yeah, do all the research. If you've liked today's video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I hope wherever you are in the world today, you are having a fabulous, fabulous day. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.